Good stuff. Right. Hey guys, how's it going? Dexter here, and I have a lesson for you on how to crash like a cool guy. Evidently not like me, okay, but I've seen cool guys do this kind of thing, and this is what they do. And I'm going to show you how to do it, so hopefully you can become a cool, or look like a cool guy as well when you play the drums. So, right, let's see what we've got going on. If you want the sheet music for this, the notation, you can get it at my Patreon page, $1, you get access to all of my PDFs. So, right, we're playing 16 notes. This fill that I'm going to show you is going to be 16 notes long, okay? But we're going to be thinking in groups of 3. So if you're losing me already, don't worry, I'm going to go into that in a lot of detail in a minute. Don't go away, it's very important. But the main thing we're going to be trying to do with this fill is not play with our right hand so much. Because normally, like a lot of drummers, when you first start, you try doing a cool fill where you're going around the kit and hitting all your crash cymbals, you're using your right hand a lot. And you're trying to play it like that with your right hand doing all the stuff. That's a lot of work for your right hand. So what we're going to be doing in this fill is trying to branch out and use both hands to play our crash cymbals. So we're going to try and use both hands to get around the kit a little bit more. So the fill we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing a group of 3. Right hand on the crash cymbal with our right hand playing the right crash cymbal with a bass drum, followed by left, right on the snare. We're thinking 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do the opposite of that and play a left hand on a crash cymbal with a bass drum, followed by right, left. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have 2 crash cymbals, you can do this on your ride cymbal as well. Or if you've not got a crash cymbal, or you've got a crash and you've not got a ride or something, as long as you've got 2 things to hit, one on the right, one on the left, this works. I'm going to play it from the ride to my hi-hat. If you're just playing open hi-hat, that sounds kind of crashy. So you can still do this with whatever gear you've got. So I'm going to be doing it on the crashes for now then. So again, group of 3, right, left, right. That's your first group of 3. And then left, right, left. So we're thinking of a group of 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, for a couple of you guys that are new to this, it's going to seem a little bit weird playing a left hand. First of all, moving our left hand away from our comfort zone down here. And the other weird thing is playing a left hand and a bass drum can feel a little bit weird for a couple of you guys. So that can be a very strange feeling thing to start with. So for now, this little check exercise, which is going to help you, is just playing that group of 6 over and over. And see if you can get that faster. And that's going to help you just to get your hands moving a little, basically get your left hand up and around so it's not all your right hand doing all the fancy work. So that's the first group of 6. But that is a useless fill. I learned that fill when I was a lot younger and I was doing that. I was like, oh, look, I'm a cool drummer. But it's not useful. You can't actually use that in a song unless you know how to begin it and how to end it, how to get back to a groove. So I used to play a groove and then try and go for this fill, and I wouldn't know how to finish. So you kind of do it, you stop, and then you get back in. So what I want to show you guys how to do that, but then to resolve and get back into the hi-hat. So going back to the groupings I was talking about earlier, we have 16 16th notes in a bar. So we think we need to fill a bar of music, we need 16 notes. So we're going to think, how many 3s can we fit into 16? Is it 5? I think it's 5. Okay, but which takes us up to 15. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got a random 1 that we've got to stick in there as well to add it up to 16. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to simplify it slightly. We're going to play 4 groups of 3. What does that equal? 12. Okay, this is the second time I've done this video. Reason being, I couldn't do the math quick enough and I had to write it down. So we've got a group of 12. We're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to take us to 12 notes. How many notes do we need to get to 16? 4 more. Okay, and that's going to take us to 16. So if we play that fill that I showed you twice, that takes you to 12. Then you can play 4 more notes to fit into 16, which means you can then come out of the fill like a pro. Okay, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So let me just show you what I've got up to now. So up to 12. That's the 12 notes there. And then we're going to have 4 more notes to finish it off. And I want you to do this. I want you to play right hand on a crash, followed by a left hand on the snare. And then again. So that's going to be our group of 4. Right, left, right, left. Both times we're playing the crash, all the times we're playing the crashes, we're putting a bass drum with it, because without it sounds a little bit weedy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it all together, you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got, I'm counting 1, 2, or 4, whatever works in your head. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end. So putting it all together, again, this is where it helps if you can see it visually. You can check that on Patreon if you're interested. Trying to put it all together, you just got to try and make it add up to 16 smoothly without any gaps. Slowly, that's going to sound like this. And that makes it add up to 4/4, which you'll see, which is why that's important in a moment. So that's the whole thing put together. Now, the important thing with this kind of fill is what's going on in your head, what you're thinking about as you do this. So one thing I used to do to help me get this kind of fill down is I'd think 1, 2, 3, 4 on the crashes. So I'd go, and then I'd think, oh, I've got to put that little group of 4 in now, the 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd go crash, 2, 3, 4, dagger, dagger, 1, 2, 3, 4, dagger, dagger, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean by dagger, dagger? Technical drumming term. And so on. Now, you've got it. You've got the fill. It's all come together, okay, and it's sounding pretty cool. Now you've got to be able to use it in music. How can you use that in your band? It's not just this show-off thing. You want to be able to play a groove, get into it, and then come back. Now, a little bit of terminology here, or theory stuff. When you're playing a groove, normally we play a groove with 8th notes on the hi-hat. We're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This fill fits in that realm that's twice as fast as that. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So if we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, the fill's going to be a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and, yeah, who lost me? Gets a little bit nuts. But in short, you don't need to get, if you don't know the theory, guys, if this all sounds a little bit alien, don't worry about it. You'll pick this up as you go along. The main thing is you pull the fill off and you get back to the fill and you get back to the groove in time. That's the important thing. So thinking groove-wise, whatever you're playing on your hi-hat, if you're playing a straight kind of pop rock groove, this fill is going to be twice the note rate, twice as quick as what you're doing in your hi-hat. So if we're playing 1 and 2 and the fill is going to be dagger, 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 dagger. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be twice as fast as that. And that helps you know how fast that fill is going to be. So when you're playing your groove, be thinking what speed the fill is going to be, because you don't want to do what I used to do when I was younger. I'd play the groove and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do a really cool fill now. And I'd just go as fast as I could. And then just be completely lost. Okay, if you're playing with a band, the band's playing, and then the drummer just kind of goes nuts for a minute, and then comes back to the groove at the wrong speed, and it's all messy. You've got to know what you're doing if you want to fit this into some music. So, let me show you what it's going to sound like. We're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2, and we're going to put that big fill in there. It's going to sound like this. See where we're going with this? So that's pretty cool. So that's how you're going to fit it in. Don't just play the groove and then play the fill and go, yep, got it. You've got to get back to the groove. That's the hard bit. It's going 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, da, 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 back to the groove. That is the most important thing. That is the thing that's going to throw 90% of people off. Got to get this down. So spend some time with it. And then once you've got that, try it with some different grooves. Try and speed it up. Metronomes are very useful for that. And then if you've got some more toys that you can play with, some more crashes. I've got a little China trash thing. You can use other things to hit, or your ride or your hi-hat, to make it look even cooler. So just play the same thing. You're still thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, a dagger, dagger, but just put your hands onto anything you can get your hands on. You get the picture? So that's where you can go with it. Now, final thing you can do with this is, if at the minute we're going from the right side of the kit to the left side of the kit, one thing you can do, which is quite cool, if you do have one crash cymbal, or you just want to try it on one crash cymbal, you can do a crossover, which is where you cross your hands over each other to hit the cymbal. So it still looks cool, just alternating hands going to that one crash. So rather than from here, you can play every single crash note on one crash. So that still looks dead cool. So even if you're on a smaller kit, you can just be laying into that one crash cymbal or hi-hat. Still the same thing, but your hands are swapping. So it looks cool, it feels cool, and you'll be like a cool guy. Definitely not like me, but you get the picture. The cool drummers do this. So, but that's basically the fill as a whole. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish with a short solo, just demonstrating a couple of things that I've talked about there. I hope you found this lesson useful. If you're unsure about anything, just go back through the video and you can try a couple of these things out. So, right, let me show you what we can do. Here we go. Sorry guys, trying to stop all these symbols. So you get the picture, there's all these cool things that you can do with that. So move it around, spend some time with this, just trying to get both your hands moving out onto all of these crash cymbals, okay? If you want to do this exact fill, but using just your right hand, you can do it, but rather than playing alternate stickings, right, left, right, left, right, left, you can play right, left, left for your group of threes. So that would give you this. So still the same fill, but just with the right hand playing all the crashes and your left hand playing all your snares. Really good for your left hand, that, because you've got to build up some speed. And so on. So that is a really good thing to get into as well. If you want to swap around, mix them together. And there you have it, lots of cool stuff you can do. So, right, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It's been a long one. We've got lots of cool information in there. Hope you found it useful. Go back through the video, spend some time with this, sit behind your drum kit and do it. And I wish you guys the best of luck. Again, if you want to see music for this, you can get it on my Patreon page. And if you're new, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I'll see you guys later.